What's up, you guys? It's Matt here. Now, I've made many exit plan videos because I like to talk about the positions that I hold and how much money I stand to gain. I also like to talk about the future, developments, and use cases of a lot of those projects. But when it comes to the investment side of things, exit plans are so important. And if you don't have an exit plan built or establish one by the time things explode, you may overreact, sell too early, sell too late. You might not be able to make as much money as you wanted to make or have the plans to utilize that money in the ways that you want it to. So, I'm going to take you through an exit plan of mine. Yesterday, I did an exit plan on XRP, which I haven't updated in 6 months. So it's great to see that I finally had that time to update it and show people what I was looking to gain from it, how much I was looking to gain from it, and ultimately give myself a plan moving forward with the amount of coins that I have. Right. For Terra Luna Classic, it's been literally a full year since I updated my exit plan because there hasn't really been much movement or discussions really about Terra Luna Classic and the large movement that we've seen in the past. We haven't seen much of that now. So in this video, I'm going to take you through my updated exit plan. I'll tell you what, it hasn't really changed much, but it does give me the ability to take my certain profit at certain levels and also be able to utilize that because I know what I'm going to get as I hit those levels, if that makes sense. So in this video, we're going to talk about that. Before we get started, hit the like button, hit that subscribe button, hit the notification bell for more of these videos. Also, make sure you check out some of the links that are down below. It does help out the channel. If you want to check out my link for BTCC, you could do that. That honestly is a great platform that I've been able to utilize for about a year now. And you can get a 10% deposit bonus when you specifically use my link down below. Extra bonuses up to $10,055, 40% lower trading fees, and you can trade all the way up to a 500x leverage. One position that I do have, if I go over to my plays that I'm currently in, so I'll just go to BTC and just look at that chart just to show my plays. I currently have a 10x leverage in Terra Luna Classic with an order size of about 44 million. That's I only invested $257 into, which is currently up by about 12%. The reason why I did this is because I feel as though we could see exponential growth, and when we do see that, I can gain so much more out of this 44 million, and maybe I won't even have to touch that other amount. So depending on what we see with Terra Luna Classic and how far this does grow and how fast it does, I might not have to implement this exit plan until later on. So pending that movement, we'll see how this exit plan holds up. So first, let's look into where Terra Luna Classic is. Again, if you want to check out BTCC, that link will be at the top of the description. So Terra Luna Classic currently stands at 0.00005914. It is down 99.99% in all history. Right? It was at $1.32 and now it's well below a penny. It's at fractions of a penny. The highest price that it got to, I believe, was 100 plus, like 120 or something like that, $100+. But then seeing that come down, seeing all of the supply that was added, obviously that brought it down to a point to where it's 99% down. However, if we look in the past year, it's down 24.68%. The past month, it's down 8.6%. The past 7 days, it's down 3.2%. And the past day, it's down 4.6%. So out of all of that time, from 1 day to 1 year, it's been down consistently, right? It's currently sitting at a 3.25 million or not 3.25, $325 million market cap. And we're looking at a $12.7 million volume day. You still have the massive circulating supply, while you do see some decreasing and burning that's happening from Binance and various sources. You're still sitting at 6.49 trillion coins in total supply, with the 5.5 trillion in the circulating supply. Now, I hold, just to be very, very clear, I hold 54 million. It might be up to 55 million, but 54-ish million over on Kraken. It was on the classic chain, and I just decided to move it over to Kraken. Easy to make these moves when I'm deciding to implement my exit plan. Very difficult to do that when you're over here, trying to transfer it over there, then selling it and do whatever. It's just a lot. Now, plans have changed. I don't want to get into, what prices it's truly going to hit depending on the different things that happen. Let's just say that all these prices are obtainable, right? um, my last exit plan that I created, my last exit plan said that I would turn $43 into $17.3 million. And while that hasn't changed, I do believe that that is still a possibility. There are still other levels that I now look at and I go, okay, this is what the reality is. This is what expectation is. This is what the max profit is going to be. And that's what we gain within these charts that we look at. So if we look over here, we're going to see that I'm holding 54 million of about the 0.00005 level, which is about $2,700. Not a lot. Sitting at about a 200 or 300 million dollar market cap. Now, as we go down, as we end up dropping a zero, right, to a $5.6 billion market cap, which I still firmly believe it's going to get to, I would take 10 million coins, giving me $10,000. I already have $4,800 worth of profit, so it would give me $14,800 worth of profit there. Now it starts to get into the levels where maybe some people are like, it's not going to get there. Okay, we're talking about 16 billion. 28 billion, 44 billion, right? A $44 billion market cap would be right around the almost the 1 penny level, right? 80% of a penny. And I would have 44 million coins to then at that point, I would sell 12.5 million coins, giving me $100,000 worth of a gain, then giving me total of $114,000. I'll take that any day of the week, especially with the fact that I only put in $43. Like I did not throw in any more. $43 is what I put in at the lowest possible level you can possibly get at. And I've already profited $4,800 on it. So we see that move just a little bit. It gets up to a 1 cent price. I'm going to then take another 15 million. Because I know it's going to be tricky where it may resist from the 0.008 level, from like the 1 cent level, to pull back down to about the 0.005 level. And I may end up reinvesting about 2.5 million coins into there. Meaning that I, got a discount on that 2.5 million there and basically taking 100, almost 100,000 and then putting back in a smaller amount. Then at the 1 cent price, again, I'm taking another 15 million, which would be 150 million. The total there would be $260,000 if I decided to do that. At the 3 cent price point, which I firmly believe is possible, is capable of getting to, the 1 cent to 3 cent price point is kind of my range for where the current supply stands. And the obviously updated supply and continue with burning that supply and all of that stuff. I believe the 1 to 3 cent price point is, kind of a no-brainer that we're going to get there to from 50 to even $150 billion market cap. Obviously, this is a 3.5 cent price point, but at that point, I will take 2 million, which would be 70,000. I might end up taking more. It really all depends. It might be the 6.5, but right now it's sitting at 2 million that I would take. Now, if we see so many other things that happen when it comes to burns, it comes to implementation, it comes to setting up exchanges to burn, or even a reverse split, whatever the options are to decrease that supply, we then have a chance to get to 8 cents. And if we get to 8 cents, that's going to be a 4 million coins, 4 million coins that I sell, which would be 320,000. At 25 cents, it will be 5 million. At 1.25 million dollars. But then at $1, it'll be 3 million, which I take $3 million. At $5, it'll be 1.5 million, which would be $7.5 million. $25, it will be 198,000. I might end up taking maybe let's say a little bit more. Let's just say at that 1 million I decide to take I don't know, 300 or 400,000, because I want to get to a point where I pretty much capture all of it, right? And I leave $600,000. Actually, let's just take 500,000. So 500,000, which would get me $12.5 million at that $25 level. That's only if it finds a way to get to those points, right? And there's so much room in between $5 and $25 that anything could happen within my mindset. So let's just go through what the reality is, what the expectation is, what the max profit is. So while you look at reality, there is a large difference between the three, right? Reality, 330,000. I will take that any day of the week, especially with the fact that I only invested $43 any day of the week. And that's still leaving some money on the table. Understand that if we do get to that point, right? Reality is only a level of 3.5 cents. That's where I'm saying the 1 to 3 cent level is kind of that reality level. I hope that a lot of people do see that. But if it does get to that point where it's 3.5 cents, that still leaves 14 million that's on the table. Meaning that if I decide to then take it, let's say it only gets to the 4 cent level instead of getting to 8 cents and 10 cents and 25 cents, I could then take that 14.5. Right, I could then take that 14.5, and that's another $600,000, meaning that the total, instead of just being 300,000, would be 946,000. So just understand that. Or if I only see, let me go back here. Or if I only see this level, and I'm like, all right, well, I'll just take the 16.5. Put more zeros there. Take away 1 0. If I take the 16.5, then that's 577,000, and the total amount is 837,000. So it still leaves the door open for a lot more than just 300,000, but that's basically saying what the reality is there. So let me go ahead and fix that. So we're taking 2 million at that point. The expectation is going to be all the way up to a level of $1. I expect to see it find a way to get back to $1. That's the mission of what we're trying to do with Terra Luna Classic and USTC, is to recover that back to that level of $1. USTC is also to get back to a level of $1 to re-establish the algorithm and all of that stuff. So seeing that, with that expectation, I potentially could gain about $4.9 million off of a $43 investment. Now, the max profit, meaning that we see burns to get us all the way down to a way lower supply level, where we're not only at a 5.6 trillion supply, we're looking at a 56 billion supply, or even looking at less than that, where it could be a 5.6 billion supply, or even less than that, seeing it in the billions like it was before, right? The max supply before was 1 billion, I believe, coins. But this sitting here, we're looking at a million. This is 5.6 billion. That means at a $25 price point, it would be $140 billion. If you can get it down even lower than that, 1 billion, less than 1 billion, well, now you start to get into that territory where it can get back to 25, 50, 75, and $100, meaning that I could potentially have a lot of money at those points. Now, leaving the 500 left in there is just kind of for safekeeping. You never know what this is going to be in the end and how big this is going to be. So it really all depends on what the narrative is after we hit some of these high levels. If the narrative is, recovering Terra Luna Classic fully and being able to implement bigger and better things, then obviously the use cases become a bigger deal, and that 500,000 could potentially become so much more and be worth so much more. We're talking about $100 per coin with the 500,000 I have there, which would be phenomenal. But I'm not banking on that. This is why I established an exit plan. So just wanted to talk to you guys about it. Some people may still not believe in Terra Luna Classic, but I do believe in the growth and movement of Terra Luna Classic. I just wanted to go through my exit plan since it's been a year that we've talked about it. But to grow $43 to potentially 24.9 million, or you're looking at 333,000, I'll take either of those. Obviously, would love to look at the former and say I have 24.9 million because all of that's long term, and I would definitely take a large chunk of that and want to donate to charities and help out people, especially in my community. That's really what I want to do. And I would love to be able to gain so much money so that I can just give so much money. So hopefully that's the case. But that's my exit plan. Hopefully you enjoy it. Let me know what your exit plan looks like. If you guys want the exit plan spreadsheet to kind of break down for yourself, I have it over on Patreon. It's in one of my, I think it's in my pinned post. You'll see all exit plans, and you'll be able to click the link to get the Excel document and be able to fill it out for yourself. It's very simple, very straightforward, and I do explain it in that video for that post on Patreon. I'm gonna get out of here, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Again, check out my link for BTCC if you guys want to leverage trade LUNC instead of, buying it outright. You can do it that way as well. But I'm going to get out of here. I'll catch you guys in the next one. See ya.